So, got the wood, got the garage. It's freezing cold. Let's build the new layout. So in my previous post, I stated I was going to build a 4-track tail tracing layout around the perimeter of the garage. After some time thinking about that, I decided it was rather boring really, so set about redesigning it to hopefully create something a little bit more interesting. I'll show you the plans in a minute, but essentially it will be a 2-level affair with a twin track main line at a lower level and another twin track branch line at a slightly higher level, with another level again housing a diesel depot and steam shed. Originally I was going to concentrate on the area behind the camera, which was going to be the original area for the steam shed. I'll now not do that, and I'll be focusing on this area here, which will be a mainline station on the lower level and a branch line station on the top level, with behind it hopefully a little bit freight area for a bit of freight interest and a bit of shunting capabilities. As stated previously, whilst initially this plan seemed okay, it soon became obvious that there was not much to do operationally and little opportunity to provide any scenic interest. So, starting again, I went back to the drawing board for a fresh start, beginning with the limitations that are already established with respect to the current space, including the garage door, 2 access doors that all required movable sections. To provide more interest, I decided to construct a multi-level layout with a main line running at the lowest level with a small goods facility and a station, with a large part of the station hidden to create the illusion of a larger station than is actually there. The next level is to be a branch line connected to the main line by a hidden incline that features 2 small stations, one with a small goods yard and the other adjacent a larger factory with associated sidings. From this branch line, another section rises up to the upper level, which houses separate steam and diesel sheds. Initially, I had envisaged that the door accesses to be lift-up sections, but as these will now feature multiple levels, they will need to be lift-out sections. So after having constructed 4 baseboards for this side of the layout, I realised that the combined weight of them was just too much to pick up. So I had a little bit of a rethink and decided to kind of focus on doing a open frame construction, at least partially for this side of the layout. Never done that before, so what could possibly go wrong? And now with the lower baseboards loosely fitted, I can now mark up the track plan to allow me to cut the baseboards to save weight where possible and allow access for creating the next level. So with the track now loosely in position, at least for planning purposes, I can now see where I can cut back the board towards the wall to free up access for creating the next level. So with the first board now cut to size, I can now get a better idea how the track will look when it's finally completed. And as such, I had a little bit of a rethink at this end. I introduced a curved point instead of a medium radius point, as I think it flows better through the station entrance. On to track laying. So that's the first board with its underlay now laid. I'll be using Woodland Scenics underlay throughout the layout, with the exception of busy areas like yards, where I'll just try and get away with using some laminate flooring underlay and see how that goes. So that's the first few holes drilled. Time to get the tracks laid. Always good to make sure the holes actually line up with what they're supposed to. Super. This is all second-hand track from a previous layout, so droppers are already attached, which will speed things up a little bit. Always worth taking your time with these droppers, as it's not unusual for them to drop off sometimes. At least one of the connections on the back of them, which you're not aware of until you start trying to run trains over. Once the final point's been put in place over here, I'll be gluing the track down using copy decks, as it's quite good for sound deadening and easy to get up if you make a mistake. Using the headless nail trick, which I think I saw off Charlie Dimmock. Not Charlie Dimmock, that's a completely different program, isn't it? Charlie Bishop. He showed us how to do this, which is quite a handy trick for getting the points in the middle, for making sure that the hole's drilled in the right place. I'll just mark up here where these need to go. I tend to run them down into the middle, so that will be kind of between there and there. Hopefully that makes sense. And this little chappy here will need a hole drilled around about here. Good. So yes. Age old thing, measure twice, cut once. Maybe 3 times just to make sure. Yeah, it'll be alright. What could possibly go wrong? one for the frog wire. Super. Now for the rest. So before I lay the rest of the track, I have a decision to make. Throughout the layout, I use Pico Code 75 track. And the image on screen now, the top track is as it comes out of the box, with a little bit of ballast applied for effect. And the bottom track has had the sleeper spacing bars cut, and the sleeper space is realigned with a specialist tool. So what do you guys think? Do you think the change in track geometry is worth the extra work involved in setting this up, or is this just a faff too far? Let me know what you think in your comments. So I'll leave this video here so you guys can understand where I'm up to as far as laying the track for the first board. I'll be progressing that later on this week and updating you guys in the process. In the meantime, please enjoy the video, enjoy the 2 other videos that I posted at the end, and I'll see you next time. And please like and subscribe. Bye for now.